life in general. So people are forced to take second jobs because the one they're already working is not covering any of all their expenses. And this is unfortunate. And a lot of people are faced with this reality. So I got a couple different videos. Check them out, and I'll come back at the end with my commentary.
More Americans are picking up a second job just to get by. It's a sign that the highest inflation in 40 years is really making it difficult to make ends meet.
I'm trying to find a second job, and the reason why I'm trying to find a second job is because we live in a two-person economy, and unfortunately, it costs a lot of money to go to college or trade school. Every single job I've been looked up literally requires me to work on weekends and holidays. I already have a job where I'm already working weekends. How do you find a second job in an economy? Especially when you're someone who doesn't own a vehicle. Especially when you're someone who has to rely on public transportation. At this point, they really just want you to be desperate. At this point, you have the choice of being submissive to the corporate overlords, or you have to resort to drastic measures.
A record 9.3 million Americans are now working not one, but two full-time jobs to make ends meet. And this is an all-time high. Almost 10 million people are working two full-time jobs. Family, that's the day shift and the night shift. People are struggling out here.
Why do you people keep normalizing working two jobs to feed your family as if that's okay or normal or what should be happening in America, the richest country on the planet? Why do you all I don't understand. Nobody should be working two jobs to survive. Nobody should be working two jobs to feed their family or to afford healthcare or to afford to live. That should not be happening in America, the richest country on the planet. No one should be doing that. Stop normalizing it. Stop normalizing it as if it's okay for this government to be forcing you into that situation. Hold this government accountable for what it should be doing for you. And that's giving you a way of life that doesn't force you to work two jobs. Right? Livable wages, food, shelter, healthcare for all. Those are things that you should be fighting for, not normalizing working two jobs. Now I've yelled today. Thanks. Love you. Bye.
Hey, we ever thought about waking up America? The number of Americans working two full-time jobs just hit a record high. The number of multiple job holders for primary and secondary full-time jobs is at 476,000. That's the second highest on record. That's right behind the record set in December 2025, which was 488,000. The number of Americans working two jobs has doubled since 2020. Just a little by comparison, the height of the peak of the dot-com bubble was 416,000 in July 2000. So before you ask yourself, does the government want what's best for me? Yeah, they don't. They don't want you to succeed. Two jobs.
The U.S. is in a recession, firmly 2 years of recession, but we don't feel it because we're told that's not happening. When I was growing up, recession was 2 quarters of a shrinking GDP. Now they added jobs to that, right, to balance it out. But if you added credit card debt, the highest amount of credit card debt in the history of plastic, at the highest rates in the history of interest rates. Why, if we're doing so well, is the average American family banging a plastic card? 33% of all Americans are holding a second job right now to pay their bills. And that is the highest level since World War II ended. We have used car dealers around the country. Their inventories are exploding. This is a real indicator of like, okay, we got problems now. Rents are flat or decreasing. Mortgage applications are at the lowest level of 15 years. Every day people are being screwed right now.
Americans working two full-time jobs hits an all-time high. So much for that American dream. That's just evaporating. And this tweet really resonated with me. There's really no benefit to working anymore. You're not growing or becoming successful, just working to pay bills, rent, and food for energy to get you through the next miserable week. Given the state of America, more people are working two jobs than ever before, and these people have the audacity to ask, why aren't you guys having kids? Like, who would want to bring a kid into this situation knowing they're just gonna have to work to live instead of living to work? Like, they clearly don't understand how much stress and anxiety the average American goes through with this money issue. If missing 1 or 2 checks will make you homeless, it's just like the stress and anxiety levels are always at an all-time high. If you get sick, that means you might be able to lose some money, and now nobody has any insurance to go to the doctor, so you'd have to pay more. It's just they have killed the American dream. All people do now in America is work or hustle, and it's just exhausting. Having to work 7 days a week is exhausting. And then you'll get online and see some boomers, well, pick yourself up by the bootstrap. We did it back in my day. And it's just like, when is enough gonna be enough? And then you see these billionaires get these tax write-offs, and you're just like, this country is so cooked. So just know, if you're one of these people that are having to work multiple jobs, you're dealing with stress and anxiety, wondering if you're gonna pay your bills, you aren't alone. This is the new American norm. Because the old American dream used to be, I want to own a house and have a family and kids and watch them grow and build and be with my community. Now you're just happy to live or survive. Like, this shit is ridiculous.
You're Swedish and don't understand how it is that Americans need several jobs to provide a normal life. Are the jobs not full-time? That's a really good question. Since I'm the guy that doesn't have all the answers, let's go to Google. So I found 2 answers here. Number 1 being that people enjoy the work of a second job. Some folks want to save for the future, and also some other folks want the experience or to just simply build up a business. Especially if they're saving up for something, picking up overtime or just another job in general helps a lot. And for the second answer, it is also due to inflation and corporations that jack up the price of things. Food, gas, housing, health insurance, especially if you live in California, they squeeze you for everything. And sometimes you don't really have a choice. If you love working at one job, but they don't give you full-time hours, you're gonna have to pick up another job. But I'd love to live over there and just work one job and be able to support myself entirely.
Okay, so there you have it. So as you saw, like, people are taking second jobs, and even a second job is pretty much not helping. And this is a reality for a lot of people as of late. And second jobs are hard to come by, or even if you do have a second job, just the mountain, a cost of living is just really kind of like overshadowing any type of money that you're bringing in, right? What's your thoughts? Are you in this predicament as of late, or are you working a second job? Do you find yourself doing like gig work, like side hustles, anything to make ends meet, man? Leave a comment down below. And I really appreciate y'all hearing what I gotta say, and I catch y'all on the next one. Peace.